Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for getting on the team call. Today is June 16th, and today we are going to be talking with a very amazing coach on our team, Miss Brittany Burgess. Burgess? I don't know. You can correct me when you start talking. I'm sorry with the pronunciation. But, Brittany has been a coach on Team Fire Away for only a few months now, and she has just hit the ground running. She's been consistently hitting Success Club. She advanced her business to Diamond in just 3 months, which is amazing. And, she's really just taken this business and ran with it, which is something that really inspires me, even as a 3-star Diamond coach. That kind of stuff inspires me, and it makes me want to work harder and continue to just grow my business and continue with this. And so I wanted to have her on the call today so that we could just kind of chat with her about how she's able to, really just jump in with this and be successful with her business right off the bat. So, Brittany, I just want to start off by talking to you about your story. Can you just tell us about, how you got started with Beachbody and, where you got started?
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I started out, I just randomly found my coach, Sarah Chaluti, who's under Alexa, found her on Instagram, kind of followed her for like a couple of months, and then decided, I'm going to email her and see what she's doing, see how she's gotten to her transformation and how she's reaching her goals. So I emailed her and got in contact with her, and then, she kind of introduced me to the whole Team Beachbody thing. And I originally signed up just for the discount, thinking, I'm probably going to do this for a couple months at least and want to get my transformation going and figure out, how it all works, everything like that. And so, just using the discount. Well, then she started talking to me about the business thing, and, I was just like, I love this stuff. I love working out. It's only a half-hour day. I was like, I have to share this with people. As soon as I started, within the first week, I was like, I have to start sharing it with people. So, I started asking her questions about the whole coaching thing, and I kind of just went for it. I really didn't know much about it. I just kind of started talking to people and started inviting, and, I knew that we had a team, like the challenge group coming up. So I was just like, I literally just started talking to people. I had no set lines, a list, a contact list, anything. I just kind of went for it. And I was actually really surprised at how many people were interested in it without even me having a transformation or having a before and after, or any pictures to show or anything. But I just started posting about it, and then doing the coach training definitely helped me. And I don't know, and now I just keep pushing and keep talking to people. And I was so busy with softball and everything, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this. But I just kind of went for it. I don't know. I just went for it.
I love that. That's awesome. Really, you just kind of talked to people. You did that vital behavior. I love it. I think that's something that so many people are always nervous about. And so it's kind of funny because, you weren't nervous about that. You just went for it. And I really think that if you can just get outside of your comfort zone and just get past that, it honestly does make such a big difference, obviously. So, at what point did you know that you really wanted to do something? I know that you kind of explained that a little bit, but you wanted to make this business work and just really put your all into it. Was there any time specifically where you just kind of knew that you wanted to make this work?
Yeah, I think after going through the coach training, and even I think it was only after a couple days of it, when I think it was day 6 was Success Club, and I was like, okay, 3 people, come on, I can get 3 people to join me to, pay off and get 3 people just to join and, change someone else's life. And so I kind of was like, okay, well, that's going to be my goal every month. I set my I wish I would have set my standards higher and realized how much you can succeed in it. But I think it was, when I started hearing about Success Club and how easy it was just to help people. And then the personal development, that was another thing that, after doing those every day and finding something new, I started with the Shalene show. And that's kind of how I found like my basis for coaching. The main one that helped me the most was her power hour. I listened to that when I was like, boom, there it is. And that's, that's just kind of like that's where it all like really started for me, I think.
Yeah, Shalane's awesome. I love her. Her podcasts are just like amazing. So
yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that's something that once again, another vital behavior. It's kind of stuff that we obviously, say all the time, but this business is really not that, complicated. It's like you really do just got to do the vital behaviors. That's what it sounds like.
Right.
You know what I mean? So as a new coach, was there anything that specifically helped you get started? Were there, videos or, did you really enjoy the training that you had or anything specific that you think really helped you a lot as you got started?
Definitely the training. I kind of really took that seriously, and knowing, and like now that I'm like, trying to build my own team and everything, I'm like stressing that so bad to my, my personally sponsored coaches that I took training so seriously. And like, I made sure that I got those done every day. Right after the video, I did the assignment. I made sure I made my list. I, did my follow-ups, whatever it was. I took training so seriously. And I think that was the one thing that I really got me going. And definitely the personal development. I can't stress it. Like, I love personal development.
I love it. And, that's so funny because it kind of reminds me of school. Like, when you would do like different assignments and it's like, there's a difference between doing it and actually doing it and applying it and being serious with your training and what you're learning. And I really think that is such a difference. I had another coach tell me that. She was like, I took the training and I actually applied it. I did it. I took it seriously.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think that that's so true. You know what I mean? If you treat it like a business, then it's going to reward you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, like it's, third on your priority list, then that's how it's going to be, So I love that. I love that you're serious from the get-go about everything. So let's talk about Emerald. How did you get to Emerald? Who were your first two coaches that you signed up? And, was Emerald something that was really important to you? Did you kind of see the value of, why being Emerald was key when you first got started?
Yeah, I remember when I was talking with Sarah, she was saying, that's where the business part really starts, and that's where you're going to start seeing, the team cycle bonus and all that stuff. And I remember watching a video, I don't even know which one it's called or what it is, but it's the guy and he's like using the toy figures and he's explaining all the downlines and like all that stuff. I was laughing hysterically at the video first off, but it explained it all. And like, it just, I don't know, it just kind of like clicked. And I watched it a few times because I kind of felt like he talked kind of fast with it. But I just watched that a couple times and it just kind of like really opened it up. And my first two coaches were Joanna Toff and Vrita Richardson. Vrita's actually inactive right now. She's kind of doing her own thing and she's going to come back eventually. But I don't know. Joanna, she's like my favorite, like she's my top one right now and she's really pushing, and I don't know, she kind of reminds me of me. She's taking it at her own pace, obviously, but she reminds me a lot of me. So, I'm so happy to have her. But, just getting to Emerald, just knowing that was like my first rank to get to, I was like, why not? So once again, I just went for it.
That's awesome. I love it. And, it really does make such an impact. We've done so many different calls and stuff like that on why Emerald's so important, but it really does pay off because you're hitting Success Club. You're hitting Success Club 10. That is going to get you Success Club leads. That seriously pays off when you're serious about getting to that rank like right away. So that's awesome. So, okay, Emerald, you kicked ass. You hit that right away. So Diamond in 90 days is like an awesome accomplishment. That's like killer. So, what would you say it really helped you in reaching that goal and really getting to that huge point? Diamond's a big, it's a big moment in your coaching business. So, what helped you get to that point?
I think the one thing, I kind of made it a goal. Sarah set up with a couple of us to reach Diamond originally by, I think it was May 20th. And that was like, we set that like way early. So that was my original goal. Well, I didn't make that one. So I was, it kind of sucked, but I was just like, whatever, there's more to it than just getting it by a certain date. And then I was in the Tricep recruiting dash, and that helped a ton, hearing from all the different coaches and learning different tips and, all that stuff. That definitely helped. And I think just, you know, having all of that support and knowing that group, everyone there was pushing for the same thing, it like helped motivate me and really, you know, keep me on track. Cause it was just like, there's other people fighting for the same thing that you're fighting for. And everyone's working just as hard. So it's like, I have to work just as hard. If someone else is working that hard, I have to too. And I think that's just the athlete in me, the competitive nature from playing softball and stuff. But everything kind of becomes a game for me, and there's some kind of competitiveness within it. So I think having that recruiting dash definitely helped me push myself.
Oh, that's awesome. That was an awesome group. So I think that we're going to do another one of those after Summit. So for anybody who wasn't in the recruiting dash, just know that we're going to be doing that again. It was awesome. But I love that. You know, I wanted to talk a little bit more about how you were able to balance everything. I know you said you were really busy. So I know that you were, you know, obviously in school, you had softball, you know, you had other things going on. So, you know, how were you able to balance everything and grow your business? And did you have to make any sacrifices as you were getting started?
As for sacrifices, I was getting up like 2 hours before I either had to go to a workout or lifting, or practice or class. So I was making sure I gave myself my half hour for my workout, an extra half hour just to sit and relax and eat breakfast and drink my shake. And then, putting in like an hour for my power hour. So I kind of, you know, I listened to the Shalene show and did the power hour thing and decided that I worked best in the morning. So I kind of went with that and tried it. I made a list. I did my daily to-do list and made sure that, you know, I did all of my personal development, my workout, my follow-ups, starting 5 to 10 new conversations, and then, you know, adding friends to my network just to get people's names and get my face out there on people's news feed and just show what I'm doing. And just making sure that every morning I woke up within 2 hours early to make sure that I got everything done. So, I mean, it was so hard with softball because it was like, you know, we're only supposed to put in like 20 hours a week in Division I softball. So we had that, and then putting in extra time on top of that. So it's probably an extra 5 hours a week. And then school on top of that. So basically the only time that I had for this was morning if I woke up 2 hours early, and then at night after class and after I finished my homework and everything. Sometimes I wouldn't even do my homework. I was way too focused on this and way too excited and fired up about it some nights. So I was like, I can just do homework tomorrow. But I think, you know, I kind of just there's nights that I did sacrifice going out, and it sucked because I was in college and I was like, I don't know, it's not for me anymore. You know, I decided that my health and fitness was more important. And so, you know, there were weekends that I gave up, that I didn't, you know, go out with all my teammates or friends. And I don't know. I mean, it was just I was so into it, and I was so motivated and just inspired by everything that I had to go 110% just to get myself going. And I wanted to get started. And I knew from the second that I signed up that, and like started talking about the business side of it and helping others, that like that's what I wanted to do. So I just knew from the beginning. And when I hit that point, I was like, I got to just go for it. So, you know, I just sacrificed time with my friends, and sometimes I just sat in my room at night and, you know, watched videos. I watched YouTube videos, you know, researching some of the top 10 coaches, and, you know, just doing anything that I could to figure out more and more about Team Beachbody, because, you know, going into it, I didn't really know that much other than what the training had taught. So I just wanted to figure out as much as I could and use all the resources that I could to help whatever it was going to be to help me promote and, you know, get to Diamond in the 90 days that I did.
I love it. That's awesome. You sound a lot like me. I would do the same thing. Instead of working at my job, I would watch Amy Silverman's YouTube channel.
There were so many nights though that I gave up homework, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, getting towards the end of the year, I was so over school and so done with projects, because I'm a graphic design student. So over projects at this point. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make Beachbody more of a priority than school right now. Such a bad idea, but it worked. I'm fine. So
well, that's good. I was gonna say, as long as you didn't get, you know, kicked out of school, it's all good. So, you know, I love it though. You know, that's really what it takes sometimes. It's like, you know, I think you really came in with that business mindset. Like, I need to get this done. This needs to be a priority. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. And, you know, I had the same situation. I was working full time. I was commuting. I was working overtime. I had to wake up at 4:45 in the morning if I wanted to get my workout in and be able to get to work on time and be, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. So it's hard, but just like you said, I love that you mentioned you have your power hour and you have your contact list and you're organized. You have to be productive and organized. But for everybody out there who's really busy, or if you have a job, or if you're going to school, or if you have 4 kids at home, I know that that's unfortunate, whatever your situation is, but we all have stuff going on. All of us do. We're all busy. There's never going to be a time when you're not busy. Let's be real. So it's going to take sacrifice and it needs to take productive time, but it pays off, obviously. So I love it. That's great. I mean, that's what it really comes down to, is knowing where you're going and knowing that it's just it's a temporary sacrifice. Sorry, what were you going to say? I think I cut you off.
Right. The thing about organization, I think that was literally like number one thing that helped me the most, because I've noticed, even when I've like fallen off and not done everything daily, I've noticed that it was just because I didn't stick to my daily list. And having that list, having it written out, I have a whiteboard with it. I have all my stuff written out, and I make sure that I check it. Every time I do it, I check it off. And if I don't check it off, then I know I didn't do it. So I know that when I first started, I didn't have the list or whatever. And I was almost getting headaches because I was getting so stressed out about it because I wanted it so bad. But I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was just like running with like a chicken with their head cut off. And after, the power hour and figuring all that stuff out and finding organization, having a contact list, and, making sure that I was marking things down, writing things down that I did, that was like my key thing that just really like helped me stay organized and not stress about it. And another thing that I recently did was turn off my notifications for Facebook and all that stuff. It has helped me so much because my boyfriend's sitting in the other room. He's probably gonna hear me say this, but he was getting so mad at me because I was so intense and so into this. I was like on my phone constantly. He's like, can you please just put your phone down for like 5 seconds? And I was like, no, I have to do this. Like, I have to get this done. But turning that off, making sure I only work during my power hour and, my extra like hour or two at night that I've been putting in, that it's totally helped. And if you feel like your phone is buzzing all the time, turn your notifications off because it helps so much. I only see things when I log onto Facebook, and it's so nice because I feel like my phone's never blowing up anymore. And it totally changed my life.
Yeah, amen, sister. I used to be the one that was like always, every time someone liked my picture on Instagram, I would like go and look at it. And I'm like, I didn't need to be checking that. Like, that stuff is not important. Yes. So I love that. Such a good tip. So, okay. So as a whole, what would you say Beachbody's done for you? And where do you see yourself going with this? I know you talked a little bit about that, but, where do you see yourself going in your business? And, what has this done for you?
I've definitely, I've decided from the beginning that I'm going to make all my goals a reality and push myself to do whatever I have to do that. And to be honest, I want to make this a full-time thing. I want to push, and I'll do it for as long as I have to until I get to that point. But, I definitely want to make this a full-time thing. My mom has been fortunate enough to be able to be home with me and my brother all the time. And because my dad, he makes enough that my mom doesn't have to worry about working, and she just does little side things for him as like her job, because she doesn't really like being at home all the time. But, having her there time during, me and my brother were growing up, thinking about my future, I want that. I want to be able to not have to worry about, finding daycare and doing all that stuff. And, that might be years down the road, but it's going to come faster than ever. And I've learned that through college, that time just flies. So, just kind of trying to plan all that stuff out and thinking about that and realizing how much of an opportunity this is, and seeing people succeed so like to standards that you would never even think of. I just like talking about it. I have goosebumps right now talking about it because it's just amazing what all of this can do. And just thinking about that, it just excites me so much. So that's definitely one of my big goals is, to be able to do this and make this be a full-time coach. But as for Beachbody, like what it's done for me so far, the personal development is definitely, one of my favorite things. And, if anyone's read any of my whys or whatever, in high school I was picked on just for like my weight and stuff. And kids were mean, whatever. We've all, there's so many people that have gone through that. And I don't know, now I like look back and I'm like, you guys are my haters being my motivators. And so just like looking back at that and realizing I've learned not to care what other people think. And I really don't anymore. Like, if you want to think badly about me, go right ahead. I really don't care. You have something good to say? Cool. Let's be friends. Like, I've just like learned there's other things more important in life than what other people think about you. And the personal development, just, reading things and seeing how inspiring others can be and how much of an impact you can have on someone just by being positive. I did a thing in, I think it was March. It was April. I don't know, whatever month it was, where I was trying to post a positive quote every morning when I woke up. That was like the first thing I did. And it was crazy how many of like even my teammates or just like my friends were like, hey, how come you didn't post your positive vibe or your positive quote for the morning? I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. Like, I didn't realize it was like helping other people or, it was affecting other people like that. So I don't know. It's just crazy to think like small things that, each one of us do, how much it helps other people. And, there's always people secretly watching you. So, and I'm sure there's, plenty of people that are secretly watching each and every one of us. And I've slowly like learned that there are a lot of people who are actually probably following me that haven't reached out to me yet, and how much, even just like posting my own thing, it's more of an accountability thing for me than really reaching out to people all the time. But just my confidence overall, like I really never had a lot of self-esteem or confidence. And that's the one thing that Beachbody has really given me. And I don't know. It's hard, sometimes it's even hard to explain. I wish I could put it all into words, but my confidence has just skyrocketed, and I'm a totally different person than who I was even 2 years ago. So that's definitely the biggest thing that I've gotten from Beachbody.
No, I love it. That's awesome. I love hearing stories from other people because I'm the exact same way. That's really why I wanted to do this call, is because for me, I think that that's what kind of built my belief in this business, is that, seeing so many other people who were like me and who had completely different stories from me and who had kids or who were full-time lawyers or whatever, or softball players and, college students, whatever, all these different kinds of people are all able to make this happen and make this, a positive thing in their lives, and so I think that that's just like my favorite part. It's hearing other stories, and it just builds my belief. You know what I mean? You can't not believe in this when you see so many other people being successful with it, So, okay, last question. What would you say is your biggest tip for new coaches that are watching this call?
I pretty much said it before. I think the thing that helped me the most was taking training seriously and doing personal development every day, and the 3 vital behaviors every day. That was definitely, following coach training to a T was really what got me going and got me fired up. And I definitely I try to stress it so much to the girls that I've, gotten through going through training and stuff. And I'm like, just please take this seriously. I promise you it will help. It might seem tedious. And I thought it was kind of dumb at the beginning. I'll be honest. I was like, okay, really, we're going to watch 10-minute videos a day and then do little assignments. But it just like clicked, I think it was after day 2, I was like, this isn't dumb. This is just to help us, And so I definitely coach training and personal development is my biggest thing. And I think that can help anyone really.
Yeah, for real. And taking it serious and actually applying this stuff. I think that's, I said that before, but I think that just really, it's one thing to learn, but the best way to learn is to do, in my opinion. So you have to actually get outside your comfort zone and apply all that you're learning. So that's awesome. Well, Brittany, thank you so much for taking the time to be on this call. I don't know if anybody has any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay.
Oh, is someone unmuted? Asking a question, anyone? Or you can type in the chat box.
Can she actually see me?
Aw, and we can hear you. That's funny. No questions? Nope. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Oh, wait, hold on. How did you deal with rejection? That's a good one.
Oh my God. Okay. So I remember doing the list of 100 people and going through them and talking to them. And yes, no, no, no. I got so many no's. And I think I went back and counted it, and I think I had like 80 no's, like 17 maybes, and 3 yeses. I mean, one time I counted out of all the conversations I made within like the month or whatever, I had like 80 no's, 17 maybes, and 3 yeses. So looking back on that and knowing that I had to get that many no's before I got 3 yeses, I was just like, okay, you know, you don't realize how many people, but talking to those people, it brings it up in their mind, you know, and then you pop up on their news feed and then they're like, hey, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said no. Maybe this is something for me. But, oh my God, I've had so many no's. And I remember talking to Joanna and Verita, who are my first 2 coaches, and you know, they felt like they were kind of falling off or whatever. And I was like, how many conversations are you doing? And I remember hearing you, Alexa, and Sarah talking about, you know, doing the accountability thing and having people screenshot their conversations with people. So I had them do that. And I was like, okay, there's your problem. You're not talking to enough people a day, you know, and I made sure that I gave Joanna the task of doing the 5 conversations a day. You know, who cares if they're on those? You're putting yourself in their head, you know, and you're making them think about it and bringing them and welcoming them to join your challenge, or, you know, talking to them about it and building relationships with people. And even though they say no, you know, I just had a girl who signed up who told me no my first month of coaching, and now she's decided to. So 3 months later, you know, she's been following me and decided, hey, I want to do this. Let's go.
Amen, sister. Once again, it's so true, you know. No, it's hard because it's like at first, I know for me, I was taking it personal. You know, I would think that it was something that I was doing wrong, or that, you know, I should have said something different or whatever. You blame yourself, right? But you just have to learn to not blame yourself and know that the other person just has to be ready. And just like Brittany said, you know, her person wasn't ready the first month, but it's been 3 months and now she is. That's always how it works, you know. You got to give people time, you know what I mean? You just have to know that they're going to be ready when they're ready. And that's when everything will be okay. So just know that as long as you're talking to people, you're planting seeds, even if you're getting no's. You know, that's like the best mindset. It's hard at first, but I love that you were able to just kind of overcome that and get through it, because hearing no a lot can be really discouraging, but you can't think of it like that. Otherwise, you're not going to move forward. You know what I mean? So you can't let it hold you.
And that was the thing. Like,
yep, keep going.
Right. Because you know, I was like, I was taking it personal at first, and I was like, why are people saying yes? Like, I emailed my coach and she told me everything. I was like, let's go. You know, I was like ready to go. And I had to take it personal at first, and I was like, okay, everyone's different. Everyone's going to take this at their own time, at their own pace. And, you know, like I thought about it and I was like, I followed Sarah for like 2 or 3 months before I actually emailed her. So, you know, just because I'm reaching out to someone doesn't mean that they're necessarily ready right then, right now. So, and, you know, having that one girl who messaged me 3 months later about it, it's totally proven my point. And you know, you can't take it personal because it's just not their time. You know, they're just not ready. So.
For real. That's awesome. I just saw someone ask another question. So what about losing motivation? What do you recommend? And did you ever feel like quitting? It's a really good one.
Yes, I did. In the beginning, I was getting so stressed out and I like had headaches every day from it. Cause I was just like I was beating myself up over it because I was taking things personal. You know, I was kind of just going for things. I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I was stressing myself over that on top of softball and school and trying to have a social life. So motivation, my biggest motivation is personal development. I can't stress it enough. Like that has literally been the one thing that has kept me going, and just like reading things in the groups, you know, the team pages and seeing what other people are doing. And then being friends. I've noticed one thing that has helped me also with motivation is being friends with other people on the team, because their stuff pops up on your newsfeed and you see other people on the team that are working hard. It just pushes me. I'm like, okay, our team's working. Like I need to get up and do something. And, you know, I recently fell off this weekend. I went on a family trip. We went fishing up in Wisconsin and totally fell off track. I got up Monday morning. I was like, I do not want to work out. I don't want to do this. But I remember how shitty I felt, excuse my French, but how shitty I felt Sunday night. And I was like, oh my God, I don't ever want to give up on this again. I don't ever want to eat like I did this weekend. And I use that as my motivation. I was like, you have to remember how I felt that night. And that totally got me going Monday morning. And this morning I woke up, didn't see any max 30, and I beat my time by 45 seconds. And like I'm so ready to go again.
I love it. That's so true. I'm the exact same way. Whenever I feel like I'm in a funk, I lose motivation, I don't want to invite, and I don't want to talk to people, because yes, it happens to me too. I get my times where I just don't feel like doing anything. I just will take a step back from everything and just dive into personal development. Just find something that just really clicks and just do a lot of personal development. You know what I mean? And that just really fills my tank. I'm the exact same way. It makes such a huge difference, you guys, in your business. I mean, we talk about it a lot, but personal development is a vital behavior for a reason. Like, if you're not doing it consistently now and your business is still growing, that's how I was when I first started. I was like, hey, I'm kicking ass, I'm being successful, and I don't do personal development, I don't need that. But you're gonna hit a wall. You will. That's what will happen. And you're not gonna be able to move forward until you start making that a part of your daily routine. So I love that you've stressed that. That's one of your biggest points, because it really is so important. Really great. I love it. So I don't think, there's one more question. So how do you start new conversations with people without feeling awkward? Do you have any sort of?
I always feel like I'm feeling awkward. I don't think I ever don't feel awkward, but I know that a lot of this is stepping out of your comfort zone. And I remember, in coach training, when we had a list of 100 people, and there were so many people on that list that I was afraid to message, but every person on that thing, I literally messaged them and was like, hey, how are you doing? Haven't talked to you in how long? Or, hey, how are things going? I haven't talked to you since high school. There was a girl who, when I was a freshman, she was a senior in high school, and we do this thing called Spirit Day. Long story short, the seniors basically get to pick on the freshmen. It's like initiation, the first week of school. And I messaged her, because I was like, this is gonna be one of my biggest things that I have to overcome. So I messaged her, and she was actually like super excited that I messaged her, and she needed tips. She's actually under her fiance's sister. So I was gonna try and steal her or anything, but now we talk all the time. She's always asking me questions, because her fiance's sister doesn't take coaching very seriously. So she randomly messages me all the time now and asks me questions about, recipes and Shakeology and all that stuff. So it's just you don't realize how much stepping out of your comfort zone helps. And just starting random conversations and just reaching out to people that you haven't talked to in a long time. And I think even just starting a conversation, even if it's short and sweet, and you're like, hey, how are you? Good. How are you? Good. What's new? How's school? Blah, blah. The simple conversation, just doing that. And then when you pop up on their newsfeed, it just sparks something. And there's a lot of people that I haven't really had an in-depth conversation with, but reached out to them maybe, a month ago or 2 months ago when I started, and, just had a small conversation with them. And then, a couple weeks later, they're like, hey, I seen your post about your challenge group, or I seen your transformation picture. What are you doing? And that's just how it starts.
Yep. I love that. It's so true. Because even if your conversation doesn't even get to Beachbody, just talk to people. Just, just like she said, get in their space, get in their head. At least, if anything, your presence there is just going to have them notice you more. And even if you guys don't even get on the conversation of a challenge group, just connect with people. That's really where it starts. And then they're going to start to see you on their newsfeed, just like she said. It's really, really where it starts. It's just making sure you're talking to people. Just always asking questions, keeping the conversation going, If it goes to Beachbody, awesome. If not, just make friends. And make that your number one goal. Make as many friends as you can. And you are going to just skyrocket in this business for real. So awesome. I love it. Well, I am, I'm noticing that, I'm reading the pop-ups. I'm noticing that hashtags on Instagram are attracting other coaches. How do you meet new people basically and expand your network? Do you have anything specifically that you like to do?
I haven't really done anything on Instagram, but the only thing that I have been doing is I literally go through my mutual friend on Facebook. It's people you may know. And if I have more than 40 mutual friends with them, I just add them. I've had people message me and they're like, do I know you? And I'm like, I literally just tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm kind of just trying to expand my network. It's kind of a personal development thing I'm doing, and, just trying to meet new people, start new conversations. It's really awkward. It's so awkward, but I don't know. I don't really care. So I add 5 people that I have a number of mutual friends with. And I've had quite a few people actually message me that I probably have talked to twice in my life that I added on Facebook, just because I had a lot of mutual friends with them. And, you know, I've had so many people that I would have never guessed would join one of my challenge groups join. And, yeah, that's the only thing I've been doing to meet new people is I just add mutual friends on Facebook.
I mean, it's one of the easier things to do. And I'm the same way. I will like usually say something like, you know, if I've had people message me too and be like, do we know each other? Have we spoken before? And I'm like, oh, I just saw that we have like 40 mutual friends. Like, and I'll say, you know, if they're friends from high school or maybe they're from when I was in a sorority, you know what I mean? I'll be like, did you go to UW too? Or did you go to Kent Ridge? Like, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So that's what I say. I'm like, well, we had a lot of friends, so I added you.
I've said that to so many people. Are like, oh, okay. And then that's the end of the conversation. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's feeling people and you're getting on other people's newsfeed. And there's like people I like know their names, but I don't know who they are. But I don't know. I just add them. I recommend it. It's kind of awkward, but it's worked. So.
Yeah, exactly. Getting outside of your comfort zone. That's what it's all about. Well, awesome. That was seriously a great call. I loved it. So many great tips, especially for new coaches. You know, really what I heard predominantly was vital behaviors and making sure that you're organized. You have your power hour. You have your contact list, especially if you're busy. You know, we're all busy. Brittany was busy. So many people are busy. All of us are busy. So you've got to just make sure that instead of saying, well, I've been working my business, I'm putting so much time in it. Well, what are you doing? Are you working from a list? Do you have a power hour? Or are you sitting and scrolling your newsfeed for 2 hours a day? Because that's very easy to do. I know. I've done it before. I will admit that. So, you know, those are all great tips. And, you know, I loved it. And I think that, honestly, you guys, that's what it just comes down to. You know, don't overcomplicate this. It's really just about your vital behaviors and being consistent with all that stuff and getting outside of your comfort zone, because really that's what it's all about. We talk about it day in and day out, but obviously Brittany is proof that it's true. It's true. It's really legit. We don't just say this stuff to say it. We say it because it's the truth. You know, it works. So thank you again, Brittany, for being on, and everybody else. I really appreciate it. Covering for Emma tonight because she's in LA, but great call, Brittany. Thank you again. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you to everybody who watched the recording. I hope you have a great evening, and I will see you guys later. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.